the United American Militia Advisory Council and battalion commander of the Texas Militia. Now, we're going to go to a quick break here, and when we come back, we're going to be talking gun control, folks, and everything that's going on. Bills passed, California and Texas, and stuff like that. The phone lines are open. We'll be right back right after this. You're listening to The Resistance here on Spreaker.com.
Previously on Tanked Radio.
Well, you know what you won't forget from tonight? There's a food beating. So in Sweden, this wonderful woman, this salt of the earth woman, threatened to kill a man during a heated argument and threw a frying pan full of sausage and grease, which qualifies as a food beating.
It must have been. He doesn't have any burns or anything from the sausage?
No, said he was fine.
It was like little mini dick burns all over his face.
Tanked Radio, every Wednesday at 10 p.m. Eastern, only on Spreaker.com.
Are you sick of the same old boring talk shows? Looking for more variety? Come check out That Radio Show.
What radio show?
It's That Radio Show. The hottest talk show on the web that lets you, the listener, call in and voice your opinion. For the latest news headlines, controversial subjects, and more, come join us every Friday and Saturday at 10 p.m., 9 p.m. Central, right here on Spreaker.com. Talk radio will never be the same.
Hey there, I'm Big Tiny. I'm the host of Big Tiny's Oldies and More, where we play music from the 50s to today's favorites. So check us out Monday through Friday and see what we're playing right here on Spreaker.
Welcome back, everyone, to The Resistance here on Spreaker.com. I am your host, Nick Larson. If you're just joining us, you missed one heck of an hour and a half with our special guest, Eric Ron. A lot of great information, and wow. I'm still. Hey, there we go. I'm still having goosebumps on everything he said. Now, joining us on the line right now is our good buddy Mike Ryan. How you doing there, Mike?
Hey, what's going on?
Hey, doing great. Having a good show here, and hope
I can see that.
Hope everyone's enjoying it. Now, you're in California.
That's correct.
Okay, and you know it's great that you called in because. What I was going to go into is the whole California gun confiscation that's going on right now. And the California State Senate, allocating $24 million to this program. And now, correct me if I'm wrong, but California has been in the red for a number of years now, hasn't it?
Absolutely, yeah.
So how... I don't expect you to know this answer, but how the heck did they come up with $24 million?
I think it's probably a government siphon. To start somewhere. I think California is being targeted for a lot of things. I mean, look at everything that's here. I mean, we pay high for everything that we own. It's just one other thing to stick it to us here in California. It sucks because it's such a great place with a lot of great people and a very misguided state. You know, it's very poorly run the way they handle their money. I don't see how the state can be in debt millions and millions of dollars, but yet they have all this money for gun control. and they must be getting it from somewhere. Maybe they're being privately funded by some organization. Maybe they're plotting to do something here in California drastic. And I got news for you. That's going to be a mistake.
Yeah, well, and and I know someone had alluded on the Resistance Facebook page that maybe they're getting federal funding, from the White House to do this, because it's no secret that the administration, the current administration, is on board with this gun ban and is pushing full steam ahead, and thank God they're running into roadblocks. But I do have to say this, that just today that the Senate Judiciary Committee did pass the gun ban legislation. So now it's going to the Senate. So it's passed the committee, going to the Senate. And literally, it was voted down party lines. All the Democrats voted yes for it. All the Republicans voted no for it. Now they're actually this is actually in the LA Times as well. But the administration is actually worried, and they should be, that they may not have enough support in the Senate to get this gun ban passed, because in the Senate you need to have at least 60 votes you need to have in order to have a bill pass the Senate. But even if it passes the Senate, then it's got to go to the Republican majority House. And you really think it's going to pass there?
I don't know, Nick. And I got to tell you, it's pretty scary. Who are we supposed to rely on? I mean, we got a lot of military here. We've got the Navy, we've got the Marines, we've got a very large police force and a very large sheriff's department in our county here. And we can't just rely on them to protect us. I mean, if they take the guns away, we got a lot of there's a lot of bad people around here, and they're going to take advantage of it. They're going to take advantage of the fact that civilians are going to be unarmed, and they're going to be able to have their way with whatever they want to do. It's just like, I think Eric was talking about it before. Either you or Eric was mentioned something about that. People are going to know that they don't have guns. They're going to be able to rob you. If they know you don't have a gun, they're going to come after you. Versus somebody that's going to be pointing a barrel at them. They're going to be less likely to go after somebody like that.
Right.
And I for one, don't want to be in that situation where I can't protect my family.
Exactly. And the other thing too is California. I don't know if I might be wrong on this one, but I do know California does require gun owners to register their guns with the state. I don't know if California is the only state that does this, but I do know California does do this, and it's the California state agents that are going around door to door, and they have a list of over 30,000 people that have guns registered in their names, law-abiding citizens. And they're going door to door to confiscate because of either they're felons, or the other thing is that they've been deemed unqualified because of mental issues. Now, I want to tell you a quick little story here that I read that this happened in California. I want to say it's in the southern part. I don't know exactly where, but agents did go to a home where a husband and wife lived. Now, the reason they went there is the wife was recently institutionalized for 2 days, involuntarily institutionalized for 2 days. And because of that, and she had a firearm registered in her name. Because of that, the state agents came and took her firearms. Now, it didn't end there. They also took her husband's firearms as well.
Yeah, that's pretty. That's uncalled for completely. I mean,
well, now right, and some people might actually say that, Well, the reason they took the husband's guns is because if you keep his guns there and just take hers, she's still going to have access to firearms, which would be a valid argument. But here's the thing, and this is in the Fifth Amendment, by the way, and you can read it. It's the last clause or last sentence of the Fifth Amendment. It talks about eminent domain. When the United States decides to take life, liberty, or property of any U.S. citizen, they can do so, but one, it has to be within due process, and they have to give reputable compensation or fair market value price. This happened a lot in the mid 1800s, late 1800s, when the railroad was going through. The government bought up private land, and that's how Jesse James got started. Is the government took his land and ended up killing his mother, and that's how he became an outlaw. But the government has to give you a certain amount of money to pay for that firearm, but they're not doing that.
Well, you touched on something earlier, and I don't mean to backtrack, but you really touched on something earlier that I didn't get a chance to touch on, and that was going door to door. Now, they've got all this money to fund going door to door for the weapons and stuff like that, which, I'm still on the fence about. I mean, I can understand them doing that, but we've got a situation here in America with a shitload of illegals. Now, I've been talking about this for years. Why aren't we using our military or our government to go door to door to make sure we are handling the overpopulation of illegals and taking care of that? Other issues in America. Why are we spending millions and millions of dollars for to have some of our rights taken away when we can't even put millions of dollars into the classrooms that our kids go to school, or on the streets for our law enforcement, or for whatever reason? And we got people suffering in our country, and we're putting millions of dollars into a broke state to take away our protection. And I just don't get it all. I just don't get it. I mean, unless they're going to pull out our military, and it's going to be some conspiracy act, they'll pull the military out of San Diego and maybe have China take it over. The U.S. is going to give the California away to the Chinese or some other country because we owe so much damn money. Yeah, I hate to go on a tangent on something that's totally off topic, but, I've got my own conspiracy thoughts on what's going to happen here. And unfortunately, I think California is going to be a guinea pig for whatever the hell is going to happen.
Well, yeah, exactly. And even the White House has come out and said that California will be a model for the gun control and gun ban and eventually gun confiscation programs for the entire nation. So literally all the country is focusing on California and seeing what's going to happen there and what all happens. But now I just want to get into a little bit. We're talking about gun confiscation, and a lot of people have said that registration leads to confiscation. History has shown us this repeatedly, over and over and over again, from Hitler to Stalin to China. And I actually have a clip here that I'd like everyone to listen to. This is a survivor of Nazi Germany. Her name is Katie Worthman, and she lived under Hitler's rule, and she makes remarks on how things were done back then and how everything came to be in Nazi Germany. So take a listen here.
I was born in Austria, and I lived there 7 years under Hitler's brutal regime. And after World War II, 3 years under Soviet communist occupation. In 1938, the media reported that Hitler rolled into Austria with tanks and guns and took us over. Not true at all. The Austrian people